I wanted to do a video here of the Plastidip. A lot of people use it for their wheels, they use it for their grills, they use it for pretty much anything nowadays because it's easy to work with and generally easy to remove, unless you don't put enough layers on. So these wheels I did about a year and a half ago. They held up very well, but I sold my 350Z, and so I am selling these wheels. The thing is that if you don't put enough coats on, it gets very, very hard to pull off. It comes off in a million little pieces, as you can see on that towel below. I've got the wheel propped up on a trash can so I can just throw this stuff down. The outer coating, I put a thicker coat on, and so as you can see, it's easier to pull off. But once I get into crevices like this, it'll definitely break, and then I'll need to use something to get it off. But what I've been doing is, first I'll go ahead and peel off what I can in large portions, which is pretty much anything around this outer edge here. Some of the stuff in the center will come off unless it has a ton of brake dust on it, then it kind of melts to the wheel. But I've been using this Goo Gone spray gel, and I checked on their website and they said that it is safe on paint. I've used it on all of these wheels so far. As you can see, I was able to get everything off of them. They look pretty good, and in fact this stuff protected these wheels better than anything I could ever think would, against stone chips, against pretty much, you know, anything you'd run into with wheels. So anyway, just to give you an idea here, so you can see I'm pulling this off and it's just breaking away. It's not coming off in one piece, doesn't matter how slow that I try to pull it, and that is because I didn't put enough coats on. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there that have done the exact same thing. I think the recommended amount of coating is 4 to 5 coats for it to come off right. So I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly what this Goo Gone stuff does. Or it basically just melts it away. And I'll do a little section so that you guys can see it. Okay, I'm just going to get that out of the way here. Okay, so we've got our Goo Gone, and I'm just going to spray a little bit right here. I don't want to do a whole lot on this because the front of these do come off in one piece. It's really the back and the corners that I have to worry about. Okay, so spray a little bit on there. Make sure it doesn't drip everywhere. And so I'll just let that sit like that. You can see where it's kind of glossy. I'll let it sit like that for a couple of minutes. And I got some over here too. So you just let it sit, and what it'll do is, if you let it sit long enough, just a couple of minutes, you just want a light coating of it on there, unless it's something you're really having trouble with. Let it sit for a couple of minutes, and it'll do its magic, and then we'll be able to just go ahead and pull it right off. But like I said, it melts, and I've gone through a number of rags. Here's one that I just started with, and look how dirty they get. And I've got a ton of these things. I've gone through, I don't know how many, probably 8 rags of this size with the previous 3 wheels that I've already done. So anyway, the reason that you want the rag is, number one, you don't want to get this stuff all over your skin, I'm sure. But, here, let me get a rag here. Alright, so okay, there it is. See how it's starting to peel off? And it really softens it up really well. And again, this works best for edges and corners, but it gets it to where you can just, I mean, it softens it up so much, even if you wanted to, you can pull it off. Now you notice that whenever I sprayed it on, I wiped it down And the reason for that is because if you leave a puddle of it on there, it's going to melt it, and it makes a huge mess, and then you got to spray more Goo Gone on the wheel just to clean off the melted portion that got on the wheel. None of it's permanent, so don't get me wrong, it's just a pain in the ass whenever you do that. So you see how that just ate right through it, and here's the other portion. So see how much easier it is, and you see that speck of gold? Yeah, it just melts it, really. Makes it easier to pull off. But I wanted to post this onto YouTube so that people could get some ideas, because I had searched high and low for a solution to this, because I'm selling these wheels next Monday, and I wanted to get them all taken care of before I sold them. So I was looking around online, and I could not find anything. There were so many conflicting things, whether or not Goo Gone's safe on paint, and and then people got it confused with Goof Off, which is not safe on paint, as far as I know. But this Goo Gone spray gel works very well, as you can see, and for edges like this, that came off pretty clean. Usually it wasn't coming off as clean. Like this piece back here would get stuck, and what I would have to do is use some needle nose pliers that are wrapped in electrical tape, and then I'll wrap the head of the the pliers in the towel, one coating in the towel, and then I'll just rub it up against this. That way I have the electrical tape on there in case it pokes through, and so that it doesn't scratch. But that's my method, and then I would just have the towel covering it and rub it back and forth after I've sprayed the Goo Gone on it. So that's the video. If you have any questions, let me know, because this stuff can really be a pain to get off, and there are tricks here. The other trick, which is what I was going to try because I have a couple extra cans of Plastidip, the other trick is to spray more Plastidip on, because it will bond to the previous coating. Even doesn't matter how old it is, and I know that because I've put multiple coatings on these wheels just for touch-up over the past year, and it always stuck fine and blended in fine. So that's the other way to do it. If you have some extra Plastidip, you can respray those corners, wait for it to dry, and then pull it off, and you should be able to get a better handle on it. It won't break apart. But that is the video. Again, let me know if you guys have any questions. I figured I'd put this out there to help anybody who might need it. So, yeah. All right. Bye.